U.S. Marshals say they are turning up the heat.
Well, obviously they have some moral issues that they need to come to grips with.
On a fugitive who should be cooling their heels in jail instead of living a life on the run.
We have no idea why she is going down this road.
Marshals are after 39-year-old Alexandria Rogers, a Milwaukee woman who drove head-on into a life of crime. Rogers is accused of moving a precious commodity across state lines.
Transporting these people by a vehicle to and from different locations for overnight stays.
Rogers may be connected with an escort service website setting up meetings for sex. Agents say Rogers was transporting victims to clients in Minnesota.
Trafficking young women, both adult and juveniles, between the Milwaukee area and also the Twin Cities area.
Rogers has been federally indicted for human trafficking.
Either the internet or phone or text messaging where they make arrangements to meet someone for their own particular reasons.
Marshals have pursued Rogers relentlessly. Agents say if you don't think you recognize her, consider this.
She does dye her hair from time to time. We do have previous photographs of her with blonde hair. She also has longer black hair.
Marshals say they're going to keep bringing the heat until they bring this fugitive in. Jonathan Gregg, Fox 6 News. There's nothing wrong with running an honest business.
Yeah, he's got a criminal history that goes back to about 2000.
But U.S. Marshals say 30-year-old Marquis Carpenter hasn't been above board for a long time.
Arrests for sexual assault, distribution of narcotics, weapons offenses, battery, you kind of name it.
Back in 2012, the Milwaukee man was sent to state prison for his involvement in a shooting.
Released in 2015, and since then has allegedly been involved in a lot of criminal activity.
Marquis Carpenter's career in crime has varied, but since getting out of jail, marshals say he's focused on the drug trade.
Being under investigation for importing narcotics from other states into the Milwaukee area.
Carpenter isn't just a drug pusher.
We believe it's high-grade marijuana.
Investigators say he may be managing a citywide drug operation, bringing drugs in and overseeing their distribution.
During the course of the investigation, they attempted to place him under arrest, and Mr. Carpenter fled at a high rate of speed in a vehicle.
Marshals say Carpenter is a dangerous man.
Believed to carry firearms at all times.
A risk to anyone he comes in contact with.
Additionally, he's been involved in numerous domestic violence incidences since his release.
When a man's trade is to cause chaos, marshals step in for a forced retirement.
Considered a dangerous person.
Jonathan Gregg, Fox 6 News. The final moments of a young woman's life.
She reached out to him via text.
Exist in a criminal complaint prepared by police.
Do not try to stop him on your own.
Text messages between a couple planning to meet up and get high.
At that time, he stated that he did purchase the heroin.
U.S. Marshals say on November 4, 2014, Mitchell DeLapa met his girlfriend Calista Krause in a gas station parking lot. They had been texting most of the night.
He injected himself and Krause with the heroin.
And that's when agents say the couple drove away separately, but Krause never made it home. Her car was found parked near a Brookfield restaurant.
Seated inside of her car, unconscious, not breathing.
21-year-old Calista Krause was pronounced brain dead by EMTs. The investigation quickly focused on her boyfriend.
Friends of DeLapa and friends of Krause, they stated that Krause would never inject herself because she was afraid.
Adding up gas station security video, statements from friends, and a string of text messages, 28-year-old Mitchell DeLapa was charged with first-degree reckless homicide. He's been on the run ever since.
But to receive messages from a person that's in distress.
But agents say the most disturbing thing about this case is how DeLapa responded when his dying girlfriend called him for help.
And his response was, call 911.
Marshals say DeLapa could have helped save his girlfriend's life, but looked the other way.
That's ridiculous. This person doesn't have any care for himself or the people that he likes or he loves.
His final words sealing both their fates. Jonathan Gregg, Fox 6 News. A life on the run is a lonely place.
He's probably living in a hole somewhere.
It's a dark corner Jordan Kony finds himself in after years of breaking the law.
Been arrested off and on for past decade.
The rap sheet of 32-year-old Jordan Kony is no quick read as his convictions keep stacking up.
Yeah, I mean, he has a 17-page criminal history. He is a convicted felon.
Marshals say last October, the Milwaukee Police Department executed a search warrant of Jordan's North Side home.
And found drugs as well as several firearms in the residence which belonged to Jordan.
It wasn't long before the DA added more charges to this chronically criminal.
2 counts for felon in possession of firearm and 1 count for felony drug offense as well.
But a man who's had plenty of run-ins with police is ghosting. Marshals say he's likely laying low in Milwaukee. Agents say it's kind of hard, though, for Kony to blend into a crowd.
Jordan is 6'1", he's 250 pounds. He does have tattoos. Lower left arm, he does have R.I.P. Bertha and R.I.P. Cassie.
Marshals say Kony has been out far too long and it's time to bring him in.
He has to constantly, cover his tracks everywhere he goes.
Because the longer he's on the street, the more desperate he'll become. Jonathan Gregg, Fox 6 News.